to either apply for significant area and use variances, or here they're actually proposing a radical and dramatic amendment to the zoning code that essentially benefits one project and does nothing to ensure what we all hope, which is that this project jump-starts or catalyzes ancillary benefits throughout the downtown. So you basically got zoning proposals that the developer has put forward, understandably to benefit their proposal. But there's nothing in the proposed zoning amendment that does anything to encourage the revitalization of the rest of the downtown. And it's long overdue. And I think that you'll find that the city's own planning and development experts will tell you that revamping the zoning for the Central Business District is long overdue. Other developers will tell you that it's long overdue. And existing property owners, if they really understood the implications, would tell you it's long overdue. So, as you know, Mr. Goldman has agreed for us to become a planning consultant. Now you're talking about voting on your findings on Thursday. So we are working around the clock. I'm going to try to get you something in writing tomorrow with some concrete concepts. But in terms of your meeting tonight, there are a couple of things that I'd like you to consider and talk to your experts about. One is, if you're really going to talk about zoning in the downtown and Central Business District, that's going to be a driving tide that'll bring up all votes. How many times have we heard that analogy? That we've got to look at more than just changing the FAR, the floor area ratios for 10-acre sites or more. There's only one 10-acre site or more in downtown. There are properties throughout the downtown where that may make sense. We've got to look at the issue of parking. Parking is going to be a major consideration for other proposals that come down the pipe. The SFC proposal is going to basically take the major municipal parking facilities, use TIF financing to create the public parking. But the question that I know my property owner has, and I feel that other property owners will have, is that when they come to bring development proposals to the city, are they going to have to come up with independent parking facilities, or are they going to get some credit for the parking facilities, public parking facilities built with TIF financing as part of the SFC proposal, which they, when they improve their properties, are going to be responsible for helping to contribute to the bond payment. So these are just, I see my time, are just some of the things that we're concerned about, and I'm going to try to put them together for you with something cogent. People ask me, why is Mr. Goldman taking the effort and the expense to bring in a planner to try to address this? Well, obviously, he is an important property owner stakeholder who has a lot to benefit from the ability to redevelop his property in a responsible way. But it's a much larger issue. My job is to represent him. Your job is to represent the city as a whole. And I was reminded today of a quote by Hillel, who was a great Jewish rabbi and scholar, and it has so much it's so relevant to this whole issue of zoning, although I'm sure you never heard of zoning. If I'm not for myself, then who will be for me? And if I am only for myself, then what am I? And if not now, when? Now is the time for the city to finally move on revamping its zoning, particularly for downtown.
Good evening. My name is Joseph Isalvo. I represent American Sugar Refining, and I'll be very brief. As we indicated last week, we are seeking the Council's commitment and findings to amend the noise ordinance to
I'm not leaving. we indicated last week, we're seeking the Council's commitment and findings to support an amendment to the noise code of the city's code. And what we're seeking is a commitment by the city to allow what is currently allowed to continue, both during the day and after 10 p.m. And today we were able to send to each of you by fax and email a letter addressed to President Lesnick, copied to each of you. It sets forth the specifics of that proposed amendment. In addition, we sent a letter to Co-Chair Dow with regard to some of the statistics that she had asked for when we first raised the subject. It's very important to the Sugar House, and we are here with the stated position of SFC that they do not oppose this application in principle, although they may oppose technical aspects of it, and that's to be one of the matters we discussed with them. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have about that aspect of our request before I move on to my second and final point.
Just to be clear, we did get that letter. We expect a significant amount of time. It came to us today while we were in negotiations with SSC administration. We discussed it, and I think it's something that we might be able to support going forward. It's certainly not going to happen before Thursday, but we should have time before the project is constructed to come up with any changes to the noise ordinance. And again, you represented correctly, SFC is not opposed to that.
Thank you. We did not anticipate an amendment to